Dream big, 'cause boy, you're gonna make it. Stand tall.
How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight is a head slapper. Tonight's story just makes you say, what the? Let's get started. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight's story is one that just is hard to fathom. It really, really is hard to fathom. It's been covered by other outlets, other of the manosphere people that are out there, but I have something that I really, so far I haven't noticed a couple of the others covering. So let's just get into this one. California pastor left church for exotic dancing career on X-rated site. That's right. In case you haven't heard it, this is true. Pastor to exotic dancer. Imagine that. Nikole Mitchel is a former California pastor who decided to leave the church and become an exotic dancer on an X-rated site, OnlyFans. Surprise, surprise. In an interview with the New York Post, Mitchel revealed that she first decided to leave her position as a church pastor after coming to the realization that she is bisexual, something she struggled to reconcile with her chosen career path. Probably her past career path. Because it sounds like the new career path, she doesn't have a problem with it. Mitchel said it wasn't until she left the church and thought about what she wanted to do that she realized she wanted to explore her sexuality further. The 36-year-old mother of three, I'll let that sink in for a second, mother of three, eventually decided to pursue a career in erotic dancing and nude modeling, launching an OnlyFans account where she charges a monthly subscription fee for access to X-rated photos and videos. I can't make this stuff up. Mitchel, who describes herself in her Instagram bio as a pastor turned stripper, life coach, and model. She is a very busy girl. Also recently appeared on the UK's This Morning, where she said she loved her job and was so grateful that she could finally be herself. Here's what you need to know about Nikole Mitchel. I think I know all I need to know about Nikole Mitchel, but we shall continue. She grew up in a religious household and had dreams of being a stripper from a young age. Now, at a young age, I dreamed about a lot of things. I wanted to be an astronaut. Wanted to be in the Air Force. I didn't become either one of those. But being a porn star wasn't one of them, I can tell you that. Or a stripper. Mitchel told the Post that she grew up in a strict Baptist household, where she was expected to be conservative, modest, and reserved. She said from a young age, her dreams were in contradiction to her environment, and she fantasized about being a stripper. However, because she was indoctrinated to believe my desires and my bodies were innately sinful and bad, she abandoned that dream and became heavily involved in the church, eventually becoming a pastor. That will just give you whiplash. Just what? Anyways. In 2011, Mitchel and her husband at the time joined an evangelical megachurch in St. Paul, Minnesota, called Woodland Hills Church. She said every Sunday she'd get in line to speak with the pastor. One of my pastors said, "Nikole, did you realize that you're a theologian?" Mitchel shared with the Post, and they said, "We'd like you to be one of our pastors. To be on stage in front of 1,000 people, that's what I've been dreaming of for years." But I don't think the church had a poll and people were putting dollars in the collection plate, not in your G-string. She told the Post that the thought of becoming a pastor was unheard of in her family, and it wasn't until she joined the Woodland Hills Church that she realized women could be men's equal in the church. I was taught that women aren't allowed to lead and that women belong in the kitchen with the children. So even though it went against everything I was told, I decided to become a pastor because of my love of performing. I said I can't make this stuff up. This is too good. We're getting to the part that's a little different here. She realized in 2016 that she was not straight and struggled to keep her sexuality a secret from the church. Okay. Shortly after she was given a weekly pastor position in the church in 2016, Mitchel told the Post she began to question her sexuality. She said that same year she went to an LGBT-oriented play and came to a life-changing realization. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm straight. And it rocked my world. Continuing, Mitchel now identifies as bisexual and pansexual. This is a busy woman. She told the outlet, but at the time, she did not want to reveal her sexuality over fears that I would lose it all because the church was not welcoming to queer people. Duh. She said that it was uncomfortable for her as it felt as she was living a double life. Yeah. She told this morning that her husband at the time, John, is a beautiful soul and the first person she came out to. The two had been married 6 or 7 years at the time. She described his reaction. He said, I think that's normal, natural, and I'm so happy for you. Okay. This is one of the most blue-pilled beta male things ever. Because basically he still wants some bedroom participation. He's like, plus he might think too, if she's bisexual and pansexual, that bedroom fun could be stepping up a notch, I would say. Most definitely. So, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. She eventually made the decision to leave the church for those concerns, saying, I just never showed up again. How she ghosted him. Wow. After giving a sermon on July 4th weekend in 2017, in October 2017, Mitchel posted a video on YouTube in which she came out as queer. She began her X-rated career with more modest photos before getting more comfortable with creating different types of content. Do you notice how this is like ramping up real quickly? I mean, this is just like a tsunami of stuff happening here. And that's one of the modest photos right there. That's on her Instagram account. Don't worry about that. There'll be links in the description if you want to go see what she said on Instagram. Mitchel told the Post her decision to go to her current career started when she began following the Instagram account of her life coach's wife, who was doing lingerie modeling. She said, I was kind of triggered by it, but I was also magnetically drawn to it. She said soon after she explored her sexuality further thanks to a class called Sexpress You. Okay, but guys would never make up a class like that, a name. Anyways, she then signed up for her first nude photo shoot with a professional photographer, and that was the true turning point. I cried because I'd never felt more holy and sacred in my life, she told the outlet. Now she's stripping for Jesus. I never felt more sexy and liberated than I did then. That's when she launched her OnlyFans account, where she now posts nude photos, videos, and interacts with her fans in a one-on-one setting. And actually, if you go look at it, it is very, what's the word I want to use here? Church-like. She's a little preachy on that. She's still saying the God talk. It's amazing. Yes, I went and looked it up. I had to see this for myself. I'll continue. I started off really timid, like just topless photos, but now I'm at the point where I take personal requests and make videos very tailored to people's specific desires. Mitchel explained to the Post. Tailored to people's specific desires. Like I said, this will give you whiplash. This is like, wow. I think I'm going to have an aneurysm here in a minute. This is just like too much. I'm to the point where back in March, I was actually going to be paid several $1,000s to have sex with someone. And I was A-okay with that. But then COVID hit and that got canceled. I think that's called, prostitution. That's it. She recently left her husband and spoke about what she tells her kids about her career. Another Instagram post. In 2019, Mitchel moved to Los Angeles with her three children. Three children, who are now 10, 7, and 4. She shared with the Post. Now, her kids, she has 2 daughters and a son. Think about that for a minute. 2 daughters and a son. What is the example she is setting for her 2 daughters? And how is this son of hers, this young boy, supposed to view women at that point? I'll let that marinate for a second. She divorced her husband in June, the outlet reported. She told this morning that she has begun sharing information about her career with her kids in an age-appropriate conversation. I cannot think of what would be an age-appropriate conversation dealing with that subject matters to a 10, 7, and 4-year-old. She explained, I think as any parent, we want the best for our kids and never want to hurt them. They know I do modeling and nude modeling, and we're having age-appropriate conversations. Notice how she skipped the OnlyFans and the potential prostitution. Because I can't think of how you would cover that in an age-appropriate manner. That is the mind-blowing part. Well, almost. There's one other thing. She joked, I think that when they see my work, when they're older, they'll laugh and say, Mommy, someone can do it better than you. Her website bio states that she lives in Southern California with her 3 kids and 1 cat. Okay. Let me go back over that for a second. I think that when they see my work, when they're older, they'll laugh. I think they're screaming horror. Seeing your mom doing things on OnlyFans? Yeah. And it sounds like she's going to show them. Yeah, I'm totally okay with it here. I'm okay with that, as she said before. This is like too much. Anyways, she told this morning that she's no longer in contact with people from her former church, but she wouldn't be surprised if someone had subscribed to her OnlyFans page. She said, it's very polarizing what I do. People are either A-okay or not okay with it. Duh. And at the end of the day, I have to decide what I am called to do and trust that calling and let the chips fall where they may. A lot of people may have come around to supporting me, and I have lost a lot of people along the way. Yeah, think? Now, okay, this is the other thing, and this is the part that just really blows my mind. There was an interview with her husband on The Rational Male with Rollo Tomassi. And one of the questions that Rollo had asked him was about his kids. And at the time of that interview, she had left and the kids are still with the husband. And one of the questions Rollo asked was, is she paying you child support? And he said, I don't want to comment on that because we're still in court proceedings. Fair enough. Fair enough. Totally understand that. But according to this article, which is dated later than Tomassi's interview, she lives in Los Angeles with her 3 children. So that means that the divorce is over and the court awarded her custody of her 3 kids, ages 10, 7, and 4, to a sex worker / prostitute. She said here she was A-okay to have sex with somebody for money. So the courts are still falling into this antiquated idea that the kids are better off with the mother. Personally, I say the kids are better off with their father. The father in this case, unless he's a really bad actor, but in the interview, he didn't come across as a bad actor. Yes, he was very beta-tized, but he was not a bad actor. I could be wrong. I don't know the man personally. But just given this information, the courts are saying that the kids are better off with their stripper mother. That's the part that blows my mind. That she's very open about all this, and the courts are going, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go with your mother. You'll be better off with your mother. You know, maybe your daughters will learn a trade. Who knows? You know, you'll be a fine example. Yes, you're making more money than your husband, but you'll be a fine example. You'll be able to take care of them better. The kids belong with their mother. Not in this case. No, not at all. She has a business as a life coach and offers various courses on her website. Mitchel launched her own website and life coaching business where she writes, "To access this dream life, I had to shed layers, literally, that no longer served me. I had to own the fullness of who I was, even if it meant disappointing important people in my life. So I came out publicly as queer. I left the Christian faith, and I took a deep breath of fresh air for the first time in a long time. I was free because it was me. And that's when everything changed in my life for the better." I think I have a different opinion as far as what's the better. Her website states that as a life coach, she can help people move past mental blocks that are preventing them from living happy and fulfilling lives, and she can help guide people towards achieving their dreams. She also offers a series of targeted courses, including how to un-F yourself, sexy and free, worthlessness workshop, or worthiness. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, you can tell what I think about this worthlessness workshop. I can't even say it. What the hell? And of course, I'm becoming a life coach yourself. She posts motivational videos on her YouTube channel, although she hasn't uploaded as frequently in recent months because she's introducing a new course titled Unfwithable, UNF ... with a bull. Okay. From October to the end of the year, she writes, "Over the next 3 months, I will be providing you with life-changing content, support, and live coaching. Calls every single week so that you can dominate 2020. All right. And that's the end of that article. All I can say is like, wow. Really. This, yeah. The courts awarded her custody of her children. She has conversations that are age appropriate with a 10, 7, and 4-year-old about her sex business. Her husband seems to be okay with it. I don't know what this world's coming to on this one here. This one here is just amazing. And I know she's getting the, you go girl, we support you, do what makes you happy. Yeah, but what about those kids? And just really, I've got nothing on that one. Guys, I'm going to end it here. Have a good night. I'm going to go have a drink after that story because that one's just, yeah, before my head explodes. We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.